ArtStreet, meet a young Miami filmmaker who believes in the power of films to create change.
My life is started in simple life that in a small village in Sudan, North Darfur, and I born there and I grew there. And my family is agriculture family. They breeding cattle and so on, and yeah, farmer.
When we started 3 years ago, I don't think any of us really knew the journey that we were embarking on. It really started as a very small community-based project, really just to engage and learn about the Holocaust survivors here locally in South Florida, what their lives are like today, what their visions are for the future.
This project grew into a documentary film called The Last Survivor, which would examine the lives of survivors of the Holocaust and other genocides, Rwanda, Darfur, and the Congo. Co-directors Michael Pertnoy and Michael Kleiman realized it was crucial to go beyond the Holocaust and focus on people from different backgrounds, races, and countries.
The Last Survivor is a documentary film that follows the lives of survivors of 4 genocides and mass atrocity crimes. There's a Holocaust survivor, a woman named Hedi Fried from Sweden, a young lady from Rwanda named Jacqueline Merekatete, a young man from Darfur named Adam Bashir, who currently lives in Tel Aviv, and a young man from the Congo named Justin Semahoro Kiminyerwa, who was resettled in the film from Kenya to St. Louis, where he now lives. And the film is really a look into what their lives are like today.
This film was inspired by Dr. Chaim Botwinick, CEO of the Center for Advancement of Jewish Education in Miami. He approached Pertnoy with the idea of creating a documentary that focused on the current lives of Holocaust survivors.
It really began to blossom into a real heart-to-heart conversation, given the people that he was able to tape and interview, into what does it mean for us to tolerate intolerance? What does it mean for a community to begin to really understand, deep down embedded in the heart and soul of a community, of a society, that there is in fact genocide now happening as we speak? What is our responsibility, moral responsibility, political responsibility, in order to respond to that challenge?
I think that the project really began before I was making films. The seed was planted in me when I was 18 years old, and I went on a program called the March of the Living, put on by the Center for the Advancement of Jewish Education. And when I was 18 years old, I went on this journey back to Poland with our Holocaust survivors here in Miami. And we walked through the death camps. We walked into the gas chambers. And I can't tell you the feeling, what it feels to be in a gas chamber, arm in arm with a Holocaust survivor, as they're telling you their story, as they're saying, this was the last place that I saw my mother or my father. And it was then that I realized that this event, that this piece of Jewish history was mine. While I didn't have any family or relatives that perished or survived in the Holocaust, I knew that this was something that was important to me. And it was then that I felt this strong sense of responsibility as an 18-year-old to carry on the message.
The film about these survivors of genocides from different countries poses the question, how have these individuals picked up the pieces of their broken lives and worked for positive change?
We really see them, these survivors, as advocates, as role models, and we hope that their stories and their life journeys will inspire audiences to see what they can do personally to get involved.
The Last Survivor was recently shown at the Jewish Film Festival in Miami. Director of the festival, Ellen Wedner, explained why she felt that a film about genocide was an important addition to this festival.
When you do a Jewish film festival, people think it's intensely religious or it's intensely a Jewish issue. And so why genocide? Well, I think that you have to be able to take what you know and move it forward. And Michael's film takes it to young people.
Michael Pertnoy and co-director Michael Kleiman did not consider themselves to be social activists before they made this film. They saw themselves as filmmakers interested in the art of storytelling.
My co-director Michael and I both care deeply about the Holocaust and the history and the education, but we're not really socially active in getting people politically involved or raising awareness on the larger issue of genocide. So when it began, no, we were not focused on building social action campaigns. But during the process of making the film, once we started working with the survivors, once we started meeting the activists who are working on the ground, both here in the United States and across Africa, we realized that there is a potential, that documentary has this incredible capacity to inspire people to action.
Pertnoy, who grew up in Kendall and now lives in downtown Miami, founded Righteous Pictures, a production company and humanitarian organization specializing in socially driven documentaries.
Well, I think that young people coming up in the world today, there's so many different opportunities at our fingertips. I think we're the most media literate generation in the history of humankind. And with that comes tremendous opportunity of social organizing, of connections. I think the election of President Barack Obama at least sparked something in young people now, that there is an opportunity to create change.
אנחנו צריכים ללמוד מהישראלים איך אחרי רצח העם, ההולוקוסט, השואה, אנשים חזרו ובנו מדינה שיכולים גם לקבל פליטים אחרים. וזה בדיוק את הרעיון.
To learn more about Michael Pertnoy and The Last Survivor, log on to righteouspictures.com.
The preceding program was a production of WLRN Public Television.